Good morning, buenos dias. Today is April 6, 2023. And these beautiful white tulips are starting to bloom. I planted these not this last fall, but the fall before. These bulbs were from color blends. They're called misconfection. They have pink ones and white ones. And it looks like the white ones are coming up first, and there may be a few pink ones coming up later. So this is their second year, so they're a little bit smaller, but they make me happy anyway. Over there are my weeds. My nice collection of weeds. I find weeds very interesting. Look at these weeds, aren't they pretty? That's my dead azalea plant. I have to take that out. Coral bark maple starting to leaf out very beautifully with its chartreusey leaves. These junipers are getting really big. They're so pretty. They have these gold edges. These can take over a space, so I'm gonna have to make sure I keep them small. This size looks pretty good. Obsession Nandina, and these beauties right here. The camera does not do these justice. I cannot tell you how beautiful these are in person. You just have to experience daffodils in person. Look at that. So turning over here, we have more of that mix of misconfection. And this section coming up for the second year. And in this section, along with my juniper. This one's getting really big. I need to trim this just a little bit. This is a nice size though. Okay, and look at my gold mop cypress. Look at that beautiful color. These also can take over a space. You know, in the spring, it's like you miss a day and all this stuff starts happening. It's just, nature is wondrous. Look at this. This is a blueberry bush that I have in a container. I kept it in the same container since last year. And you see the buds right there. More tulips. I don't remember if I planted these bulbs this year or last year. I think I planted them last year. I planted a few I planted these two, not fall of 2022, but fall of 2021. And then I planted some over here this last fall of 2022. And they've budded up, but they haven't started to bloom. Okay, so today I want to talk about Ranunculus. Before we do that, let's just admire these hyacinths. These have been in my yard since I bought the house almost 20 years ago. Okay, so let's talk about Ranunculus. So I got these about 6 packets at Dollar Tree for $1.25 because I'm new to gardening, and so I'm learning. I decided not to spend too much money and try growing these Ranunculus from the corms that look like little tubers, like tiny little tubers. And I put it in a container. I packed them into a container that didn't have any drainage. I moistened the soil like the YouTubers said to do. I didn't put too much water, just sprayed it once in a while. And I kept it in my basement, kept it dark until they germinated. Once they started to germinate, I started bringing them out little by little to acclimate them to the outside weather. And they have been out here now 2 whole days. I then separated them and planted them into these separate containers. Each one of these has 1 corm. So I have about 20 of these, or 21. So I'm really excited to find out if they flower for me and learn how these perform in my gardening zone. These are sweet peas. I'm going from seed for the very first time. I don't know anything about sweet peas. I made a bunch of mistakes. I kept these in the basement too long, so they got a little leggy. But I got these, and I lost a bunch. I planted some in these smaller containers to try to pop them right into the ground, and then some in those. And I got these at Job Lot, or Odd Lot, Ocean State Job Lot, something like that. And I paid half price, not $3.29 for all the seeds. And I'm just trying to figure out how this goes. I think I'm going to plant them in a pot, in a container, and then put a trellis in the container to keep them from the chipmunks, to prevent them from becoming chipmunk food. Lots of little critters. And I have lots of tunneling. I found out that those are the chipmunks that I have living in my yard. So just wanted to document this process and the progress that my ranunculus are making, and keeping my fingers crossed.